Myth number one in your book, you say live below your means. Why do you say that's a myth?
That's terrible advice. If one tries to live below their means, oftentimes they're trying to be frugal, they're trying to settle, they're trying to postpone experiences in life, many of which they never have. When you try to reduce your expenses and maybe build systems in your life to save $1 on Raisin Bran at the grocery store, you can only cut your quality of life to the downside so far. And when you do cut your quality of life to the downside, you're living worse anyway. That's an example of living below your means. Instead, you could expand your means. Living below your means might be spending your time, your most valuable resource, spending 20 minutes in line at Chick-fil-A to get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. Well, instead, you could spend those 20 minutes, for example, learning how to improve your credit score so you could get the lowest mortgage interest rate. So I think, in short, don't live below your means, expand your means, is focus on production rather than reduction.
Yeah. So what it sounds to me, because I think in that, I can't remember exactly what you said in your book, but I think you came out and said, I'm not saying to live beyond your means, I'm just saying don't stop at live below your means. So it almost sounds like it's not that live below your means is the wrong advice. It's just that it shouldn't stop there. Like that's not the end of the story. The point is to expand your means. Is that accurate, or am I missing something there?
I would agree with living within your means. I think that makes some sense, but intentionally going out of your way to live below your means and, save some coupon website to your favorites when instead you could learn about how to use leverage and arbitrage to build wealth. Mm-hmm. That's maybe another difference of living below your means versus expanding your means. Living within your means can be a good thing to do, but you don't even want to do that all the time, or you never expand your comfort zone. And growth happens when you push the limits of your comfort zone a little bit, kind of like the $10 million in debt that I brought up.
So I like this conversation from a mindset standpoint. I think that it's very healthy to not have this approach to life of let me pinch my pennies, let me go to drive across town so I can save $2 at this grocery store. Like I love that. That's very much, it's very interesting because I'm just naturally not like that. And I have friends in my life that are very frugal just in nature, and they pride themselves. It's almost this like cultural thing in the Midwest, I guess, where people are like, the more frugal you are, the just better character you have or what have you, right? But it's easier said than done when you just say, oh, just increase your income, right? Like that's very flippant. And so where I would want to kind of dive in and ask you, kind of hone in on this perspective is when you are struggling financially and it's hard to make ends meet and you're at that point where you're like, well, I just need to increase my income. Like, what do you practically do to do that? Because it's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard to just flip a switch. Oh, today I'm just going to be a millionaire. It's going to be great.
Well, the short answer is learn more. But, I will tell you, Jaren, that I think in a sense you're right. I agree. It takes more effort and more thinking to increase your income than it does to reduce your expenses. There actually is some more friction there. You do need to learn some new things. You do need to walk out on a limb a little bit, and you do need to feel a little bit of that fear and pressing your comfort zone. Someone that lives below their means and, taking a 5-minute detour on the way home to stop at the gas station where you save 8 cents a gallon on gasoline. Well, okay. I mean, maybe even
I'm laughing because I have a friend that that I've known for years that just keeps coming up in mind. And Seth, it's not you, I promise. it's like this. Anyway, it's this guy that he's now moved, but he lived in Indianapolis when I moved out there. And it's just really funny because as you're talking, like he would do stuff like that. And I'd always be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're going to save like $5 at the end of the year, at the end of the month? Like, calm down. Just go buy a donut or something.
Well, okay, let's talk about something else that's actionable. And this is in the book that you're asking me about, the book I published almost 2 years ago now. And that is an easy way to increase your income is give yourself a pay raise. Don't go to your boss and ask your boss for a pay raise and get all worked up and think about how you need to ask about it and get nervous about the approach. Don't ask your boss for a pay raise. Give yourself a pay raise. All right, what am I talking about? How do you give yourself a pay raise? Well, it's a lot easier and faster and more effective than ever asking your boss. It's by stop reducing your salary by contributing to a 401k plan, or similarly a 403b plan or a 457. Actually, those plans, the 401k, I interviewed the very founder, the inventor of the 401k, and he confirmed this with me. In the early 80s, when 401k plans were rolled out, Seth and Jaren, they were actually called salary reduction plans, but they had to soon scrap the name to foster participation. But 401ks still principally reduce your salary. As soon as you opt out of 401k contributions, you've effectively given yourself a pay raise. So not only have you given yourself a pay raise, but beyond a pay raise, now you can increase your income again if you take that money that you were contributing in your 401k and contribute to something that produces income for you every month and has as many or probably more tax benefits than a 401k. Investing in cash flowing property, it doesn't only benefit you in retirement like a 401k does, it benefits you both now and in retirement. So if you're trying to find ways with little friction to increase your income, start giving yourself a pay raise and stop voluntarily reducing your salary. That's very actionable and that's very easy, but you need to think it through, because again, this fear comes in because that's not what most people do. But if you don't want to be like most people, you need to do something differently from most people.
So in order to accumulate enough cash to then invest in something like real estate that pays you income, that requires you to live below your means, right?
That was going to be my question.
You can't spend that money. So you kind of do have to live below your means. Or am I missing something?
Well, instead of making $20K in 401k contributions this year, if you shifted that over into real estate, then you wouldn't reduce your quality of life if you went ahead and transferred that over. But yeah, if you're not doing any investing right now, then you would temporarily have to reduce your quality of life, only if you're in that situation. But in either case, you're creating a monthly income stream, income that you don't have to work for.